From ringlets to soft waves, curling rods to flat irons, there are many different types of curls and tools to achieve them. Joining us now, we've got Shelby. She's personal assistant, makeup artist, and hairstylist at Crystal Vasquez and Company in East Hampton. She joins us to share tips for Curly Hair 101. Shelby, great to have you here with Bree, hair model. Let's jump right to it. Curls. Yes. There's so many different tools out there and products. It's very overwhelming.
It can be,
yes. Everyone's pinning looks that they love. So how do we achieve the curl that we want? You're gonna show us 4 different types of tools.
Yes, so basically to achieve the certain curl type that you are looking for, it all depends on the tool. And there's many different ways that you can get different types of curls from one tool that you use. So first, when you're doing your hair, when you're curling your hair, you mainly want to start out with making sure that you protect from the heat. So I have a serum right here that I like to use when curling people's hair. You just put a little bit in your hands, and then all you have to do is just rub it through, and that's going to protect from the heat that you're using with the curling iron, and also go and fight against frizz and everything like that.
So then, you put that on when the hair's dry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So then you can use your hot tools.
You can. So then if you're doing this at home and you're curling your own hair, you're going to want to section it off first. So we have some little clips like these. You can start, usually you can do it within like 4 sections, depending on how much hair you have. You would want to section out the top part, then take small sections underneath that, and leave about probably 1 inch at the bottom. And you want to start at the bottom and then do sections inch by inch.
So you slowly take hair down, and you section it so that you don't forget any pieces. You don't have that one weird piece that's not curled.
Yes, it's much better if you section it first.
Okay, so you're going to show us on Bree's hair with the curling iron first. Now that's the curling iron that we know with the clamp. You know,
so like this one with the clip is just your basic standard curling iron, and you can get it. This one is a 1 inch. You can get ones that are much smaller or much bigger, depending on the curl type. If you want a tighter curl or if you want a loose wave.
Okay.
So what we're going to do right now is just the basic curl that you would be used to with a curling iron, where it's mostly like a ribbon curl. So you're just going to start curling it like this. You can touch the hair just to see how hot it's getting, and then you let it go, and then you can see that that's what that curl is. But then you can also use it, especially if you have shorter hair or if you want to get more volume out of your curl. What you do is you take a section from the top. You're going to start out at the base, bring it all the way to the top, and then curl under.
Oh, more like a hot roller.
Yes, so it's basically going to take the place of any hot rollers that you would use. And when you leave that out, then you're going to get lots of volume and just a little bit of flip at the end of it.
Oh, so that's for less of a ringlet and more of like a soft flip.
Exactly, and if you have really short hair, even just like 1 inch or 2 or like a pixie cut, you can do that, and then afterwards brush through it, and it's going to give you some massive volume in your hair.
So you can do a lot of things with one tool, just knowing how to use it. Okay.
Exactly.
Now we move on to the flat iron, because we think the flat iron is just for straightening.
Most people do. Most people don't realize that you can curl with the flat iron, but you can actually do that, and it's really good for all hair types, especially for ones that are shoulder length and up, because it gives a nice wave to it, and it gives you a little bit of texture. So what you do is you would just take a small section like this, you're going to clamp it, wrap the hair around, and then you're just going to slide down, and that's going to give a little bit of flip. Or you can do smaller sections, and if you wrap it tighter,
so it depends on
then it's going to give a little bit of a tighter curl.
So if you take a lot of hair at once, you're not going to get as much curl as if you were to take smaller pieces.
Exactly.
And it looks pretty too with her highlights, because I'm just going to turn you a little bit, Bree, because the curl really shows off her ends, which is a little bit lighter, which is really pretty.
Yes, and especially if you have certain hair colors like this where you have the highlights and everything, it's going to give some great dimension to your hair.
Wait, can you show that one more time with the flat iron? Not because I want to learn or anything. So you just take the flat iron, like you would if you were to straighten it.
Exactly, but it's almost like if you were to curl a piece of ribbon with scissors, sliding it around it, and that just makes the hair flip.
So neat. So you don't even need a curling iron to curl your hair.
You don't, and it's great too because it smooths the hair at the same time.
Very nice, right, so that you don't have the frizz. Exactly. What temperature, because I know a lot of these tools can go up to 400, sometimes 450 degrees.
You don't usually need to put them up that high at all. Usually I will start at around 350, because that way you're not frying anyone's hair, but it's still a good amount to hold it. If somebody has really thick or coarse hair, then you would want to go turning up the heat little by little, probably around 400 to 430. I wouldn't go all the way up. You don't really need to have it.
And if you have really fine hair, you could probably keep it on a really low temperature.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and make sure you always protect it with the
The serum.
Serum or a spray, a thermal
We have
protectant
another spray too that's more of a setting spray that will hold the shape too, and you can even use a working hairspray and that will help as well.
Right, just no matter what, make sure you protect it from the heat.
Yes.
All right, so now we've got some curls and breeze here. You've got gorgeous curls,
yes,
but we're going to show everyone the tool that you use to achieve those nice, beautiful, loose waves. So we're going to be back with Shelby to show exactly how she got the curls in her hair. We are back with Shelby Dufour, hairstylist and makeup artist at Crystal Vasquez & Company. We're talking about curly hair 101. So earlier we showed how to use a regular curling iron and a flat iron to achieve a perfect curl. Now you're going to show two different tools.
Yes, so these two tools right here are two different types of curling wands. We have a tapered one, which starts out being bigger at the top and then it gets smaller at the bottom, so that's how it's going to make your curl. And then on this one, it's the same length all the way across. So these are two tools that are becoming extremely popular. They're really easy to use and they create a really nice wave and a curl. So you can either have a tighter curl or it can be a little bit looser. So on her hair right here, because hers is more medium length, this tool is just going to create more of a simple wave.
Okay.
So all you do is you just wrap it around like this. And when you buy this, it actually comes with a glove that you can wear to use to protect from the heat. But you don't have to use it.
Okay, like you're not using it now, so you could just be careful. But
Yes.
so you took a very small piece of hair to create that. If you were to take a 1.5 inch section, you
can
would
do
get
that
more
too.
of a wave. It wouldn't be as much of a curl.
Yep, you can do bigger sections. And this is a great tool too because you don't have to do tiny sections with it.
Oh, and so as you wrap it, it gets smaller, so the curl gets
It gets a little bit tighter towards the bottom.
Now this is the tool that you use for your hair. Is that right?
Yes, it is. See, that creates a bigger wave.
Yes. Now, right now it looks like ringlets, and you don't see, your hair doesn't look like ringlets. So how do you get it from looking like that to where yours is a soft wave?
So all you're going to do is after you curl your whole head, it's going to look a little bit crazy, but then afterwards, all you do is you're just going to comb right through it. And that just brushes them right out, it smooths it, and it's going to combine them together so that it's not so crazy and tight.
So people are always afraid to brush it out because they're afraid that they're going to brush the curl out.
These tools hold curls so great. I've never, even the regular curling iron doesn't really hold them as well as these tools do.
Really? So the wands hold really well.
They do.
Product. Do you use any product before or after you brush out the curl?
It depends on the hair type. Her hair type is really good. It holds curl great, so you don't really need to use much with it. Other people, you would probably want to use more of a working hairspray beforehand. You just spritz the hair down, comb right through it, and then you would just wrap it around the curling wand.
Okay. So you'd want to do it before, so it has it's more a little bit more texture to the hair.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's use the other curling iron. That's the one that's not tapered.
Yes, this one is just all one length. So we're going to use this on this side again so that you can see the difference.
Okay. And I mean, really, when you look at all these curls, they look pretty much the same, but they do offer different options.
They
all
do.
These different tools.
So this one was a little bit smaller, so the curl's going to be a little bit tighter.
Okay.
But then again, with the same thing, you can still brush through it to make it a lot smoother.
Now, what if you wanted to just get curls on the bottom half? If you wanted to have, like, straight all the way to her cheekbone and then curls down, how would you do that?
So then what we would do with that is instead of starting all the way towards the top, you would take your section of hair and you would probably start a couple inches away from the scalp, so that way it keeps the curl lower. You still always want to start out a little bit higher than you want the curl to end with at the end, just because that way if the curl does fall at all, you still have a little bit of extra curl left at the bottom.
Now let's talk about the direction. That's what, when I'm curling my hair, I'm not sure if I, do I put the curling iron down? Do I put it up? Do I curl in? Do I curl out?
With the curling wands, I usually hold this part up so that you're curling downward.
Can you show us?
Yes.
So
usually you would want to hold it this way, so that way when you're curling it, you can just wrap it starting at the larger part at the top and then going down towards the bottom.
And you go away from your face, not toward your face.
That's what I usually like to do. When I curl my own hair, I like having it off of my face. But you can curl it forward. Sometimes that almost gives it more of a vintage type style.
So I think in general, when people are looking for those loose, soft waves,
you would want it away from your face.
like the wind is blowing at your face, like Beyonce. Which is what we all want, right? Okay, perfect. So then can you brush this out? You can do it with your fingers or with a comb.
Yep.
And then you get those nice soft curls like you just came from the beach.
Exactly.
Love it. The nice beach waves. Thanks so much, Bree. You're a good sport. You have all different kinds of crazy curls all over your head, but you look fabulous. Thanks, Shelby.
Thank you.